What's up, Geeks of Color fam? I have two amazing guests with me today, Fiona Nova and Torrian Crawford from Red versus Blue Zero. So just want to interview them, sit down with them, talk about the origin story, just talk about everything and get to know them a little bit because they are some awesome people. So firstly, how are you guys doing today?
Oh, we
We
working. We
working.
working.
Look
I'm
at
I'm
Fiona right
I'm
now
on
working
set. Yeah, I'm on
on
set right
set
now. But I
business.
yeah, but I took some time just for you,
I,
Dorian. Just for you.
Fiona,
Oh,
I know
anything for you.
I know you're a busy woman, so I really do
Mm,
appreciate it.
I got I got
I appreciate you, Fiona.
I got you.
I want to start off saying get an origin story for both of you guys. So Torian, I know you joined Rooster Teeth in 2014, and so can you just talk about just joining Rooster Teeth and just working your way to where you are now?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you're right. I joined Rooster Teeth 2014. I started off on a little show called Death Battle, which is they put two people in the ring. They do all the cool, awesome research, and then we create a cool fight animation. So I started with them doing 3D animation. That company was a part of a bigger company that was that ah, that company got absorbed into a company that also Rooster Teeth was in, and so they just kind of merged us together. And so I kept the Rooster Teeth, and I kept working on Death Battle, and then I worked on Genlock as well as some other smaller projects. And then the current project is Red versus Blue.
Absolutely. And Fiona, what about you?
I sort of came from an on-camera background, so I've been streaming, I've been hosting a lot of gaming events, and then once I got enough on my resume, I was picked up by RT, and now I've been working as a cast member for Achievement Hunter, and we've been doing just a bunch of stuff, podcasts, shows, live shows, etc. And it's been great. And now Torian gave me the opportunity to be the lead voice actress for Red versus Blue Zero, which is a huge, I cannot thank him enough, but it's a huge opportunity for me. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, and speaking of that, so can you just talk about what it was like actually going from just being a content creator to now you're doing voice recordings and being in the booth and like professional
Right.
now with it? What has that been like?
Right. Well, definitely a big change. Most of the things that I do is like improv and unscripted work. But I've always wanted to do more scripted work, and this was a great opportunity to have. It's definitely different because um, I never did it. It was my first time in a booth, and I think the best part of it was that Torian was so helpful and in guiding me on who Agent One is. And I think you can see from starting from episode one, like you can, I'm starting off, I'm starting off, I'm really trying to get into Agent One's character. And then towards the end, I feel like I understand her and that I am Agent One. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's been a huge learning experience, but I think I've grown exponentially compared to like the first episode. So yeah.
And
And it's great to have like Torian and like Noelle, who's also a writer and producer, and also the other cast members just rooting for you and always there helping out and stuff. And they've just been a huge support system and for the entire show, really. But it's just been great.
hell yeah, and I know when I originally saw it and I heard that you were gonna be the voice lead, I was like, oh no, like I gotta jump on this. We gotta support this. This looks
Torian,
amazing. Like I was like, hell yeah, like
Torian,
anything you do, Fiona, I'm gonna be there for you. So Torian, I do want to ask you
Torian.
though, like what I noticed from just the little trailers we got, like the choreography, the action, and it looks amazing. So did you take anything you learned from doing what you did on Genlock and apply it to here?
Um, yeah, so a lot of my fight experience started on Death Battle, which is normally like a 1v1 type situation. It's kind of mano y mano. But I really wanted to explore, I guess, what you would call like PvE, right? You like, the main character or a hero group or fighting just a bunch of grunts or, bad guys and stuff like that. And as well as like kind of motivated action, like something that has a story, like these guys are fighting for something or fighting against something or fighting to protect something. Um, so working on Genlock definitely gave me a taste of that. We had a hero team fighting, bad guys. And so in Red versus Blue, I kind of wanted to just like build upon that. So I really, really, really wanted to make just like an action adventure show. And that like high action, that, you know, martial arts, that, you know, the John Wick, you know, cool, slick gun combat, very tactical, kind of like fighting with purpose, but also because it is kind of this sort of sci-fi fantasy world. Add a little bit of fantasy in there, add a little bit of sci-fi in there in this season. You know, it's actually the villains that fight something that's even more powerful than them before they even get to our heroes. And just kind of having like this variety of cool, awesome, badass action for the audience.
Just speaking of that, what are some of like the main influences you put like pulling from and for this show? Like what are some of your favorite anime, some of your favorite cartoons growing up just in this nerd sphere?
Yeah, so I would say growing up, I just start like growing up right before school, right before I left that door to walk to school in those cold Michigan days.
Detroit.
I would watch Inuyasha. Inuyasha was first in the morning. Got that Kagome, you know, wind there, wind tunnel with the hand. Ooh. A little bit of Yu Yu Hakusho, and then we come home. You know, you got to finish it off with Dragon Ball, the classics, the Jackie Chan adventures. Y'all know what's up.
Yeah.
And then as I, as I got older, started jumping into anime a lot more heavily. You know, got into Soul Eater, and you know, G Gundam, Big O, stuff like that. And then, you know, towards my like more adult years, as I kind of just like really wanted to like, the things that really intrigued me about a lot of anime is the action. So that kind of translated that to movies. So I like Hong Kong films. I like a lot of like hand-to-hand combat style of action. So, you know, a really big stunt actor, director that I like is Donnie Yen. I love a lot of Donnie Yen stuff. Love a lot of Jackie Chan stuff. I'm a huge fan of the John Wick series, especially the one with the dogs. It's Halle Berry, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's cool. I love John Wick. I love anything, a lot of the stuff involving the Russo brothers, and just kind of like these high octane, really slick but well shot action. That's important because a lot of action films are super cool and super fun, but I don't think a lot of them are shot well. I love the ones that are kind of just wide and they let those awesome performers do the work and just really show them off, like The Raid, things like Atomic Blonde, and other action
I love
films.
that. Yeah, Atomic
Um,
Blonde's great.
yeah, the most recent like show that was like that I watched was Into the Badlands, uh,
Mm,
and then like Wu Assassin, who that has the raid guy in there. So I think those are a lot of my influences for just the kind of style of fight choreography and just entertainment in general.
Wait, I'm blanking on the name real quick, but in Into the Balance, have you watched the whole series?
I have
Like up
watched the
and
whole. I have
okay,
watched
up and
I have watched what's available. I don't know if I'm missing something, but I'm
no, I
pretty
think yeah,
sure.
it's over. But one of the
Okay.
characters was my cousin. His act he plays. I forgot his name was like Shadow Moon or Moon Knight or something. He was a black dude.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
That's my
yeah. And he
cousin.
like they would blindfold him, and
Yeah,
he was like, "Yo, you know him?
yeah.
Yo, he was cold. That guy was cool."
And Fiona, I'm asking you the same question. What are some of your favorite influences in some of the animations, just nerd stuff that you watched growing up as well?
oh yeah, no, I mean I've watched a bunch of anime. I also love just like TV shows in general. Like right now, I guess it's less action packy, but like right now I've been watching Black Monday, which is
Mm.
Phenomenal show.
phenomenal show. It is
Phenomenal
great.
show. So good.
Yeah, it's great. And but I do love my John Wicks. I do love like I think one of my favorite movies is Man from Uncle. God, I love that movie. I love my James Bonds. I love the sleek and the fight scenes and all of that. I love how it looks. Um, but yeah, I think like when it comes to Agent One, a lot of the she's sort of the leader, right?
Hmm.
And I've watched enough anime to know how the leader should sound like. You know what I mean? So like I think a lot of the yells and the punching and everything was definitely I was like, I gotta watch me some anime and I gotta really focus on what these pro tags are saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think I definitely watching anime has helped me find Agent One's voice, and get some inspiration from that. But otherwise, I love action and I love like spy movies and stuff. Love that shit. That's in my
And
heart.
I do want to ask, like, with the whole recording process, because you are like having to do dialogue with other people and things like that. Since this
Right.
was your first time, can you just talk about what that whole process was like?
So the process of recording. So we do have a booth here in Austin. So I was able to go record in there at the start of the year. However, once the pandemic hit, you know, it was a little bit of a panic, and it was a little bit of, we need this ASAP, or else, you know, it's all fucked. And we decided that. So I sort of made my home studio, and it was in my closet with a bunch of coats around me and blankets. So we did that for a little bit, and I was able to do it. And then from there, we were finally accepting people to come into studio, what with, like, you know, be making, like, having a questionnaire filled, having the pass card filled. It's super social distance, everyone, you know, sanitizing their hands and everything. So we did it very safely. And since then, we were able to do it at the studio. And it was just helpful to have someone listen in to me and tell me, like, especially for the action sounds, like the punching sounds and everything, because there's different grunts for the amount of power you put in. And again, it helped me watch anime. I used a lot of, like, I was like, oh, Link does this in Legend of Zelda. So it was like, you know, so I was just, you know, Link does that.
He has one effort.
Well, he does that, but well, no, he doesn't. He has an array of efforts. He does sound the same, but he has an array of efforts.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, it helped. It helped a lot.
That's
and
good.
yeah, and I know, like, the sound engineer too was very Alina was super helpful in terms of, like, telling me how phonetically it should sound.
Yeah,
like
she's great. She's awesome.
Yeah, like HGHHH or stuff, or, like, just like you know, how it should sound like in letters, which helped a lot.
Yeah, and Torrian, my question for you, kind of in the same realm, was, like, you've gone from, like I said, lead animator to becoming a showrunner. So can you talk about, like, what is, like, the differences between, like, for people who aren't familiar with it, like, what do you do now in comparison to what you previously did, and how you're handling the show as a whole?
So interestingly enough, I got a little taste of show running, working on a like a sort of pitch called Action Bots for the company. And that was like an original idea that I had created and you know, Miles helped me co-wrote, and we had built that pitch, and then we had showed it at RTX, and then Rooster Teeth was like, "All right, we'll let you know." But then, so I've directed directing animation for Death Battle is essentially like a separate piece, right? Because we have all the crazy cool data that they collect and analysts and stuff like that, and that almost feels like a separate, you know, show. So when it came to 3D animation, I kind of really took a lot of that on. So not just animating, but also directing and tasking and scheduling and stuff like that. So I already had some of these skills kind of just, you know, like building. And then once I got to Red versus Blue, I think because the idea was so synonymous in, like, my style and just what I do, I kind of really knew how to build it. And it just kind of naturally fit that I would be the showrunner, because I essentially knew how to build this production in a way to where we could do it. Now, that changed slightly because we had to go home, you know, for safety shortly after. So I kind of had to switch my thinking and methodology to, like, working from home or whatever. But thankfully, I got paired up with awesome producer. Fiona mentioned him earlier, Noel Wiggins. He's dope. So, you know, show running and directing, and also I'm also a lead animator on the show. So a lot of the clips and trailers that you have, I animated a great deal of that, and mocap a great deal of that. And, you know, in mocap, I'm answering Slacks, I'm doing reviews, I'm trying to problem solve while imitating what Agent One or Fiona would do in a combat situation, while answering her in the Slack. It's
right.
like, hey, what would you look like if you threw a hook at someone? Like,
yeah, you know.
yeah, okay, well, let's go do this meeting. But yeah, it is a challenge. But I do think just my previous experience on a bunch of other shows and just having just kind of like a great deal or amount of stuff that I would normally have to do kind of just better prepared me for the situation. So it really didn't feel too different. It definitely was just more.
Hmm.
So I think I rised up to the challenge, but we will see.
Absolutely. And so what so I do want to ask, what is the main difference? Because what so for people like me, I've only seen a couple handful of like the original, but absolutely going to jump into this. So do you need to have any like previous experience with the franchise to jump into this one, or can you just go in cold?
So the goal of this season specifically was to try something new and freshen it up.
Hmm.
And so we did kind of make a a secondary story or an additional story within the same world. Now, what that means is that it does exist in the same world, and it does feature two of the more prominent characters from that original cast. However, they participate in this new story. So if you do want to learn just a little bit deeper lore about the two main characters, Carolina and Agent Washington from the previous, you most definitely can. There's 17 seasons of super deep lore, awesome comedic action adventure there. But with this one, you definitely can just jump right in. It's its own separate story. It has a start. The characters they have, so we learn about them. We grow. We learn about the situation that's going on in this little slice of that greater RVB world. So to sum it up, no, you can jump right in. If you've seen a clip online, you're like, wow, that looks crazy. Definitely don't be intimidated by it being the 18th season. Definitely, show up on November 9th and just, start this new thing and enjoy it with us. I think it'd be
Yeah.
great.
A-
Mhm.
Absolutely. And like I said, when I saw the trailer online when Sophie hit me up, I was like, hold up. What is this? What's
Hold
going on
up.
now?
You see that
Yeah.
recent one? You see that recent
Oh,
one?
the
That
yo,
recent one.
hell yeah, bro. Like, and then y'all already got me so and y'all might get a little bit
Got
of
him.
hate from this,
Got him.
but
Look, I'm
I
Will.
I
Will
I
LeMay
didn't even
Fiona.
mess with Halo that much. But when I saw this, when I saw the clip, I'm not gonna lie, like this, it's fire,
Yeah.
bro. It's like it's
100%.
it's something special. I mean, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
And that's really what we do. And I really want to kind of let people know that you know that legacy is still there. I think
100%.
one of
Yeah.
the main things is like it's not like RVB, and you're right. It's not. However, to me, RVB has always been this idea, right? And it's 17 seasons. All those 17 seasons haven't been the same consistent thing. They've explored tons of ideas between those 17 seasons or 17 years of that show. And this is just our turn to tell another story. And that's really where I'm coming from. And it's an action show. You're gonna come. There's some jokes. Fiona's funny. Our cast is funny. Noelle is dressed like a hamburger. It's great.
Yeah.
But at its core, the raid is still the raid. Like either they're going through that building and they're kicking butt, and they're taking names, and it might be a couple jokes here and there. But it's gonna be fun. I really do. That it is gonna be fun if people show up.
And
Yeah.
one of the things I asked on the Genlock panel at RTX a while back was just something about just how authenticity in the representation in the writers' room and just in amongst the cast is important. So did you feel that amongst this show and just creating it and with the cast like Fiona, like we have a black woman as lead, you're the first black showrunner, like you said, of over the full course of the 18 seasons now. So can you just talk about that and what this means to you from that perspective?
So yeah, it's one of those things to where people they want different and they want to explore different areas. Well, in my opinion, you have to build that from the core, right? I don't really think you can get different from the same old, or just the same kind of well that you will pull from. So basically, when I came up with this idea, some of the first things that I wanted that I knew would kind of like set us in that direction was, having a black female lead character. That was like the number one thing. And the number two thing is I don't know if it's like nuance or anything like that, but I'm a huge music person. Um, don't ask me anybody's artist name or anything like that, but it's just like a feeling that kind of guides my creativity. So the second thing I needed was just a certain type of music, a certain type of feel. If you watch the trailers, he uses a lot of hip hop. There's a lot of specialty, but we do got some cool rock scores coming. We still got a lot of variety in the music. So the music was another thing. And then lastly, you know, our writer's room was extremely diverse. When I pitched the idea and we got the green light, I brought Noel Wiggins, who's a producer. He's also a co-director, also writing. He's half Black. And we brought Josh Kazemi in, who's half Filipino. So we already have me plus those two uh, already have just this immediate kind of diverse outlook, you know. And then we brought Ben Singer in, who was he's Mr. Death Battle himself, who helped us write, and you know, adding Fiona and then Christian, who's also have Black, and then a lot of other characters in there. That's kind of how you can organically get, you know, something different and something diverse and something a little bit unique by building it from the ground up. I put out a video a couple months ago. It was, you know, during a lot of the Black Lives Matter protests and stuff like that, just kind of really explaining that, like, way back when I had already made these decisions with the goal of making something different. And that's how I honestly think you get something different, by starting with from the ground up.
And also like, let's be real here. Like, if we want everyone to watch this, we need everyone behind the camera. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We can't have just one. If we want every single person, no matter who, to watch this show, we need to make sure everyone's represented in some degree. So it's important.
It's not like, I don't want to, I know it's like when people hear like, oh man, these Black people. No, like the goal is, if you see more diversity across the board, then I think more people will feel comfortable coming in, and then you will, that variety of people will increase, you know. So we're not just going after a specific demographic. What we want to do is to appear and genuinely be open for everyone. You know, we're not, the goal is not to isolate anyone. It's to actually just to open it up a little bit more, so everyone can come in.
And I know like recently I have, you know, I get a lot of messages, and I got some people who, like, Black females who see the show, and they're like, you know, I always felt like I wasn't being seen in the show, and now I feel seen, and I'm gonna jump in. Now I can finally watch this and feel good about myself and feel excited and stuff. So again, it's like just super important to have that representation. And just like Torrian said, he said it perfectly. We're not excluding anyone out of here. And we want everyone to watch. And it's important that we have everyone behind the camera too.
Yeah.
So
it really is. And I got a couple minutes left with you guys, and so I do want to ask, we're kind of in the conversation already, but this question is for both of you, but do you just have any advice for you, Tori, and for up and coming animators or editors, and for you, Fiona, for just content creators in general that are just like aspiring to push for their dreams? Maybe they're scared, maybe they're just need that reassurance. So can both of you guys just speak on that and give our audience a little bit of advice from your perspective?
Go ahead, Miss Director, with your headphones on and your earpiece and your white background.
I got it. I'm
need you on set. We need you on set over here.
Well, one big advice that I always tell people is to go for it. And I know that's easier said than done, but really find any way to go for it, and don't let anything stop you necessarily. Because I remember when I started streaming, I was like, I'm a woman, I'm Black, I'm gonna be getting called slurs in the Twitch chat. You know what I mean? Like there is that barrier where you feel like you can't get somewhere because you're just not allowed to be in that space. And you need to understand that, no, you are allowed. And it's tough, because there's times where why do I got to deal with this? Or like, why do I have to deal with this, but one of my peers doesn't have to deal with this? And I think there's that you need to sort of focus on yourself and focus on where do you want to be, what are your goals, and fully follow through with it, and find every route possible to get to that goal, and to not stop because some people might want you to stop. Because there are going to be people who might want you to stop. There are people who will beg for you to stop, but you can't let that happen, and you need to keep on pushing through. And I know, again, it's easier said than done, but it's a whole journey that you're going through, and some people won't have that same journey, but you need to know that this is your journey and that you need to keep on pushing no matter who tells you no, who says you can't do it, and just keep on going step by step, because that's another thing. Don't look too ahead in the future. Take it day by day. You do not need to be pushing for
day by day.
pushing for the future that's not there yet. Just go day by day. And do not compare yourself to anyone else, because again, this is your journey. Everyone else is on their own journey. This is your journey. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there. That is your road to follow through. So that's the advice that I would give.
That's a good one, Fiona. Tori, you got something? I'm mad you got to follow that up. But
No, that's cool, because interesting about what she said is like, it's like one side of my thinking, and then the other side of my thinking is really your work ethic. It's one thing to where feeling like you're isolated and you're not accepted, right? And then when you are accepted, or you're in, right, you're in the door, right, you have to perform. Like, you have to work hard. You have to put on. You have to this is your one shot every day. Like, you know what I mean? It's like every single day. And what people don't know about me is that I had a couple professors who taught me a few things, and I ran out of money, so I had to teach myself the rest. And I did. At the end of the day, of every silly, crappy job that I've ever had, I was practicing, and doing my best. Really, really, really pushing myself. So, like, the advice that I would give, and I would just let people know, is that I know it's hard, especially going into a field that you might not see yourself in. I'm an animator. I'm technically in a visual effects field. And if it wasn't for being like in this kind of front facing company like Rooster Teeth or Screw Attack or anything like that, you would know I exist, which is fine, right? But the more I do this, I'm glad, because when I go, that people know me, because when I go to cons, they run up to me. Oh man, Ma, look, see, look, he do the death, he do. Boy, I didn't know what animation was until I seen you come up there. So that's good, and you wouldn't believe, I don't talk about it a lot, but a lot of that happened over the years. And I was like, man, I worked really hard and I know a lot about animation, but these people really believe that there was no place for them here. So I'm here to tell you that it is, right?
Yeah.
It's hard. It is hard off top. But if you keep working hard and you keep going at it, I promise you, whatever you want to get out of it, you will get out of it. Don't let anybody else's success dictate your success, right? I'm just some dude on Twitter, like that Rooster Teeth has put in the front. They want me to be on stuff or whatever. But whatever your level of success is, or whatever makes you happy, I promise you, you can achieve it. Like, just keep going, keep working, and I guarantee you it'll happen.
That was perfect, man. So I know we got to wrap up soon. I just want to say thank you guys so much for giving me a little bit of your time. We absolutely cannot wait to see Red versus I'm getting tongue twisted.
What's the name of the show?
Red versus Blue Zero. I'm
all right, okay,
my bad.
all right.
So we are so excited, man. I cannot wait. November 9th, we're gonna be in there. We're gonna be tweeting.
Please
got our full
blow it
support.
up,
I cannot
brother.
wait.
Blow it up, tweet it.
Blow it up.
Yo.
Let's do it. Like, we got this.
Yeah, you guys do got it. I'm so excited. Thank you guys again. And where can they find you on Twitter? Where can they find you on social media, guys?
Ooh, well, you can find me on Twitter at Fiona Nova, Instagram Fiona_Nova, and everything else probably just Fiona Nova. I can't think of everything at the moment.
I'll leave the link in the description below.
You can watch Achievement Hunter.
Yeah, watch it.
Oh, there you go.
Hey,
watch the effing around.
Got the shirt on right now.
Effing around. You know what I'm saying?
Watch there.
And you can find me on Twitter at Animated Tori. Look, full disclosure, I don't know if people know this or not. I'm terrible at social media.
No,
I don't know what to say.
I think it's great. You be posting gifts and shit. It's the best thing. Each
I
day,
know.
different
And
gift.
they be freaking out, Fiona.
Yeah, they be like, "What's
They
going
be
on?"
like, "What does it mean?"
What happened?
I'm like, I just stubbed my toe this morning, bro. I didn't even.
Chill.
And I post my dog. Now I am doing social media right, because I got a dog now.
You got a dog.
I just post the dog. I just post the dog and
Yeah.
leave. So, but Animated Tori, if you guys want to connect with me, again, I'm bad at social media. So if you do connect with me, I will get back to you, or I'll like the tweet. I hear you. I see you. I'm just super busy and really bad at social media. So, but yeah, you check me out, Animated Tori on Twitter.
All right. With that being said, you heard them. Go follow them. Go like and subscribe. Go blow them up on Twitter and just follow social media. You can find them on November 9th. Rooster Teeth, Red versus Blue. Why am I getting every
Dorian,
time?
Dorian,
Versus
this
Dorian.
is your show.
I know.
Just say RBB.
Hey, RBB.
RBB.
Hey, RBB, baby.
Go check it out. November 9th. It's going to be,
Hey,
it's gonna be lit.
Let's
Baby.
go.
We'll see you soon.
Bro, I can't do both my hands, but
You can't do both your hands.
I'm holding my hand on the
All right, Dorian, you're going to have to end this.
All right,
This
yeah.
is Fiona.
We all right, we out.
Dorian, you're great.